Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and the brainstorming session for season one of And Just Like That is almost over. Wait a minute, they filmed all those scripts? Wait, those are just random ideas, nothing connected to each other. There was no growth. There was no consistency. No, that was just all the ideas we might do. Oh shit, they filmed that? For real? So anyway, this is the penultimate episode of the season. So Michael Patrick King is back. He's kind of one of the guiding lights from back in the day, and I was able to tell a little bit. Everyone acted more like a person and not someone's Twitter persona. And there was a joke with Anthony that I actually laughed out loud at. Although I immediately tried to explain the joke to someone who has never seen the series. And they're like, yeah, it's just not that funny. It's like you had to be there. So the season is wrapping up or starting. Or did I just watch part of a Tyler Perry movie? The whole storyline with the professor and her musician boyfriend, and he's like watery eyes. He's like, I want a baby. Like, what the hell? What? Oh my gosh. So, in this issue, random things happen, roughly in order. I don't know what to say. Uh, Carrie is going to take off a ring and then it falls off. Is that irony or just gravity? Steve is just running for Jesus. It's neck and neck between him and Keanu Reeves right now. Like he's able to, show up to events. I was gonna say not act petty. He acts a little petty. So there's this charity thing, and he picks Carrie to be his painting partner, so he can basically pump her for information. I have got to say one thing. Besides this entire season being deeply odd, Miranda not acknowledging her late in life homosexuality is one of the weirdest thing, and kind of even Steve is like, so she's into girls, and like, and they just kind of brush back, by that. It's like, yeah, but no, it's no, she's into Che, who's not a girl, but kind of she is. So everyone was predicting what was going to happen in Cleveland when Miranda went to go see Che, and they just don't show it. And but the implication is it went just fine. That's dramatic. Do you want to do something more, or you got to do something more interesting because there's nothing less interesting. By the way, this is one of those things that I, as a very short-term former New Yorker, notice. I think the main thing I remember watching one of the Marvel TV shows, the Netflix Marvel, and a character walks inside someone's apartment from outside, and then they sit on the bed together and like share their feelings, still wearing the outside shoes. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, at one point, Che and Miranda have an argument conversation in a hallway that goes on for a while. Somebody would have popped their head out and be like, shut up. Or they would just, give their opinion. It's like, okay, you two are terrible for each other. I know that because you're both terrible. You're terrible for anyone. We got to see. Che did admit to being bad at improv, which I knew because I watched a previous episode and I saw her comments like, "Oh, it's wet out here, but I'm wet too." Get it? Because I'm a lesbian. But it was not completely insufferable. Seema is great, and you're just realizing how many missed opportunities there were with not being like, okay, we lost Samantha. Here's Seema, kind of similar, sounding names, and she's a really great character, and we're gonna roll with that. Nobody cares about what is it, LTW, who just pops up like every third episode to have like a non-story. Weirdly enough, Charlotte being a good mom was actually pretty compelling. I mean, it was at least entertaining. And it was like, oh, one person's acting like a human consistently throughout the. There was the tennis thing, but overall it was just kind of fine. But it feels like I mean, isn't the implication that this is a big deal? That this was this phenomenon 20, 25 years ago, and then they had two successful movies. They disappeared for a decade and they're back. Like, it feels like a practice run. It feels like they didn't think it was a big deal. So they're just like, just whatever. It's fine. Everything is just fine. Is it a recommend? I mean, yes, if you watch the previous 8 episodes, it is. Again, this was not a bad episode, but I would not be able to justify, like, why is this a TV show? Except for just showing how saintly Steve is. I gotta say, I had a thought, and I guarantee they will not do this. They set Seam up with this cheeseball sleazy club promoter, who I think is an actor in Emily in Paris. Oh no, I'm pretty sure he is. And I'm just like, okay, you got Seema, who seems really cool. And then you got Steve, who's essentially a saint. That's the story. That's the story, because that's going to cause a lot of drama in the friend group. But then you can be like, oh, you introduced my wife to your boss, and she left me for her or for them. So now I don't think they'll do that. But it would be interesting. And also, they're kind of like the two best. Well, Charlotte's actually been pretty good, except for one episode where she was just a lunatic. But then there's also just like some weird like half writing. Like Anthony's, oh, I'm bringing over a date. Can I bring over a date? And then the date like literally walks in and says something anti-Semitic like right away. Like that's what? Okay, so you came up with the idea that Anthony, who says offensive things a lot, but it's like cute offensive, he brings over someone who says something actually offensive. All right, yeah, that's a deal, because people would be like, oh, is he just being like Anthony, where he's like riding the line, or this person being tongue in cheek? No, they're just like, hi, I'm in your apartment. Let me say something anti-Semitic, like immediately. It's like, okay. And even at one point, Charlotte's daughter is in a porta potty and Charlotte is outside. It's a whole thing. And you can see that it's locked. And then she starts hyperventilating and saying, like, oh, I'm going to pass out. So you're like, oh, okay. She's going to pass out and she's going to be locked in there. And then maybe Steve will figure out how to unlock it. And then Miranda will see Steve. He's a really good guy. No. She's just like, I'm going to pass out. I need some water. And then she's like, I'm going to go get some water. And then I guess she got her the water. You don't you don't want to make it more interesting? Okay. So anyway, I'm looking forward to the last episode. It does definitely feel like, even though they're barely interested in making a season 1, that there will be a season 2. We'll see. But after the next episode, I will start reviewing Emily in Paris season 2. Thanks. Bye.